And hello, everybody, and welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We have reached the halfway point of the Season 4 Budweiser All-Pro Series Championship schedule, and it's going to be, hopefully, as always at Daytona, an exciting finish. And just to add the little hint, not the little hint, the huge hint of excitingness to this event, I have up here in the booth a guy who commentates every time with me, and every time we do it, we have something amazing happen, and that is Seth Cole. Seth, thank you for joining me up here in the booth.
Hey, great to be here. It's Daytona. I love watching drivers at this track. And it's a track that really, to me, hits to home because I've always been one that likes to come out in favor of the underdog. And this is a track that definitely, every single time you come here, it caters to the underdog or to the driver that's struggling in points.
That is very true, and the case in point being the front row. We got Trent Dunham on the pole and Lisa Gonzalez in second. Now they come in at the bottom of the point standings. Now the bad part about it is that they each have a win this season, so they're in the chase technically. But if we get more than 16 winners, they're currently out of it.
And not only that, too, but I mean, both of them very well known for their restrictor plate racing styles. So, if you had to pick a place on the calendar to kind of turn your season around, which obviously both of these drivers need to do, this would be a very good place to start.
Absolutely. And Seth, as you can see, you roll out in the 8th position. So, with that being said, where would you want to start in this? Like, if you had to choose, like, would you rather start up front, in the middle, or in the back?
Well, it all really depends on how the draft works here. A lot of times, in the shorter sprints, a lot of drivers want to start at the back. This track really works in 3 different waves. The drivers at the front, the drivers in the middle, and the drivers at the rear. So in my opinion, I would think tonight, based on the number of laps that we have on the schedule, I would say probably you're better off starting up front, drop to the back around midway, and then work your way back up to the front. I think that right now, starting up front in this race particularly, and especially with the fact that it's kind of getting up there as far as the anticipation and the need to get a win in order to lock yourself into this season's chase. If you're out in front and everybody's racing like crazy behind you, you got a better chance of missing a possible early wreck.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the command has just been given, I completely agree with you, Seth, on that part. So it'll be interesting to see, because Connor Breton comes in with the point standings, and if I'm not, I don't think he has a win. If he does, I think so. I'm not sure. But last season Connor Breton got into the chase via being one of the highest in the point standings without a win. So for someone like him, or someone who's in the top of the point standings without a win, how much more of a necessity is it to get a win than to just try to be consistent and finish in the top?
Well, it kind of takes pressure off of you. I mean, if you can be consistent, I mean, that's great. But if you can get that second win or even a third win, that takes a lot of pressure off you, off your crew chief, off your team. You then can kind of work with some strategy in the coming weeks, which really could come into play for you when the chase begins. But, I mean, consistency, you always want to have it, but it always is helpful if you can get a multiple win season. Now, I don't know if you've got the ruling this season of that you have to be top 30 in points or not in order to make the chase or not.
No, the way I have it is pretty much going to be the first 16 people that have a win.
Okay,
or
so
more than one.
So either way, Trent Dunham and Lisa Gonzalez, I mean, Trent Dunham comes into this race 39th in points. Lisa Gonzalez comes in dead last in the standings. So for both of them, I mean, they both really need to either get a solid finish here tonight or preferably a victory, because both of them right now just need to get their season turned around, or else, it's very likely with only 3 spots left for non-winners right now in the current chase standings, those spots could be taken up so easily.
Very, very true. Here we go. We're underway here in the Coke 0400.
Now, we know Trent Dunham's love for Daytona, but that's actually more just for the 500. Trent Dunham's actually really good when we get to the second Daytona race of the season, so we'll see how he does here from the point.
Wow, Steph, your clone really knew how to work it there. He pulled from the outside right in front of your buddy Anthony McCurry.
That's not an easy thing to do either if you're not up at the front of the field. I mean, a lot of times we'll see the outside row maybe get a run on the restart and the second place driver drops down ahead of everybody. But yeah, that was a little risky there by Seth Cole, and he's lucky he had a buddy in Anthony McCurry that was willing to give him room and let him in.
Now I know how infamous you are for picks, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you do it anyways. Who would you pick for the race today?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick a guy that I know when we come to Daytona, he's not exactly always looked at, but I'm going to go with that Anthony McCurry Audi. I've seen Anthony McCurry and that team really work on fuel strategy at this track. They are very good in positioning themselves. Not often are they... Oh, okay. 43 just got turned down to the grass area. That might not even be a yellow.
Henrietta Fifth, yeah it is. Henrietta Fitzwater spun down to the inside, has collected herself pretty good, but the caution flag is out. Now, my pick, however, I'm gonna go with somebody who I've been actually counting on all season. He was the winner of last year's All-Star race and has really been consistent, but had a little bit of bad luck. And that is the number 6 of Nathan Hudson. He's been driving his Mercedes all season long very, very well, and I'm just looking for him to possibly get the win today. As leading to the line, I think, is Seth Cole.
That was 3 wide coming to the line there.
And Seth Cole is, I think, right? Am I not? Yep. Seth Cole leads him to the line. As these cars get fiddled out to their single file position, we are going to go back and take a look and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night. Okay, we're back here checking out Henrietta Fitzwater, and it looks like Breton hit the wall, and Fitzwater gets into Breton and sends Breton down into the 43 car. And you see the 16 of Derek Pemberton get involved, but he saves it.
Yeah, and these drivers are just running at such high speeds, especially under nighttime conditions. When that 47 hits the wall, that scrubs off about 5 miles per hour off of his speed. And the 9 car that is running up to full speed, there's just no reaction time, and kind of bumper grabbed onto the back of the 47 and turns them down into oncoming traffic.
You see the lights on the caution cars are on, which indicates there being a caution. This is the first caution of the day, so let's go back up for the restart and see how many laps to go.
Hello, I just had a sprinkle land on my arm.
I know.
Oh wait, that's a chocolate sprinkle. Never mind.
Hey, you better be careful, man. We ordered dessert. I just wonder when it's gonna get here.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now that in my ear they're telling me we're back live.
Professionalism.
Yep. No one is retired after the incident. Just a couple of cars damaged and who've just come back on the track. Your top 10 rundown is Seth Cole, Anthony McCurry, ironic, John Cittadino, Larry Hagan, Preston Plord, Kyle Matthews, who got his win at Dover. Along behind him, teammate Andy Thomas. There's Cody Lamas in the 20, Trent Dunham in 9th, and his teammate, ironically, Dusty Allen in the 42. Now, Seth, I am also being told that it's a very cloudy day. It's how it started, but there is rain in the area.
Yeah, and I honestly think that these drivers were already notified of that before they even took the green, because they kind of got separated up into 2 groups, but in both groups they were 3 wide racing, and at one point they were almost 4 wide, so I think you're right. I think they're being told that there is rain on the radar, and they're going to try and get this thing done as quickly as they can, or at least try and get up to the front as quickly as they can, just in case that rain starts drizzling.
And here we go. You see Cittadino with the help of Larry Hagan goes down the inside. Seth Cole thinking about staying to the outside with McCurry, but thinks better of it and goes back to the inside.
I'll tell you what, too, talking about this whole weather factor, these drivers, they have to pretty much rely on their crew chief to look at that radar and let them know when that rain's coming, because it's nighttime. These clouds all seem to look the same. You can't tell a rain cloud from a regular cloud.
And there goes Cittadino. John Cittadino, who couldn't exactly win in the Daytona 500, went to victory lane at Atlanta, and if I'm not mistaken, he got another win, but I don't remember where. But here he is leading the Coke 0400.
And you see right there, I thought we were going to see Kyle Matthews and Andy Thomas work together because they had found each other earlier on, but there you see Andy Thomas going to the inside of her teammate for the 3rd position. Also, Trent Dunham and Dusty Allen, who you mentioned were lined up behind each other, they've been separated as the 42 starting to drop back.
Yeah, Dusty Allen, I think, got stuck to the outside. Here comes Andy Thomas to the inside, but with no help.
No, nobody going with her right now, but looks like she still will get at least to the inside of the left rear of the 22.
And you know
And
how
now
well
here comes.
you know how well these cars can suck up.
Well, not only that, but the cooler track conditions are also what helps out with that. If it's hot out, it's very little suck up allowed there. Wow, Kyle Matthews having to really get out and dodge. A lot of drivers going his inside, but with the cooler temperatures, that's what actually helps the suck up. And we're seeing it here. There's a lot of suck up here tonight at Daytona.
Here comes Nathan Hudson down the inside line in his number 6 Mercedes, being pushed by Charles Jackson.
Yeah, and John Cittadino came down, blocked Nathan Hudson. That was quite a block by the 72. Hudson almost thought about maybe punting Cittadino out of the way because he had a real big run on him heading into turn 1. I'm watching these cars here. They're really kind of spreading out from about mid-pack on back to the rear of the field, and I think some of that is like what we just see there with the 22 of, I think that's Hagan getting into the wall there. I think that some of these drivers are having to drag the brake because they're getting so much of a run. There's so much grip in this track, and they're getting too much of a run coming off turn number 2.
And here comes...
Or off turn 4, I meant. My apologies.
Here comes Hudson, but now he's going to get left out, out the outside by Dylan Young in the 38 machine. Now here comes...
Yeah, and as you can see, this pass by Dylan Young, it was brought to you by Sega.
Yeah, right? Here comes the Pod Piper. That's the 88 of Joseph Srigley. I say that to anyone who really trusts the 88. Now, Here's what's surprising me. The Daytona 500 winner, the number 4 of Steve Pollard, is up in here. As you see the 6 car hit the wall a little bit up there.
Yeah, that killed him and Charles Jackson's momentum.
Here comes...
Wait, was that Jackson or was that the 20? No, I think that was actually the 20. My apologies.
No, I think it's Charles.
No, I think Charles is
Charles.
there behind Cittadino.
No, it's Charles is... No, yeah, you're right. Charles is that's Charles. So you're right. It was Cody Lamas that he just.
Yeah, it's hard to tell those Dollar General cars apart. Charles Jackson's has just a slightly paler yellow shade than the other one.
And the nose of the Toyota is different as well.
Yes. Yep.
Here comes the Daytona 500 winner. Here comes Steve Pollard to the inside for the lead.
Hey, this is what I love about Daytona. I love Daytona because there's just it puts everybody on a level playing field. I mean, you can go to a track like Chicagoland, Michigan, Dover, Darlington, and you got like 5-6 drivers up there that are dominating the race. You come to Daytona, everybody's in the hunt for this win, and we've seen a lot of contenders already up here at the front. As soon as we're just past halfway, so there's a lot more drivers that still want to get to this lead.
They're leaving in the middle.
Yeah, that's not any surprise really quite there. I mean, they're like, hey, you got to win at Daytona already. Now we want to do it.
No one is going with that 4 car. They're leaving the 4 in the middle as Peter Saviano in the 34 car will take the lead. And here comes Robert Wagner being pushed by Dylan Poteet.
Yeah, Dylan Poteet there, Anthony McCrory, Dusty Allen. We saw both of them make a little bit of a exit early on. They've gotten back to the inside line, working their way to the front. Wow, Dylan! There goes Lisa Gonzalez into Preston Plorter teammate.
Oh, we got a huge accident.
Oh my goodness.
Hudson's involved. See, Hudson's involved. There's Annabelle Belvin, Preston Plorter, Jake Haynes, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Villanueva, Kyle Matthews, Lisa Gonzalez, Betty Thomas, O'Neill Belvin, and others, Zachary Fitzwater and others involved here at Daytona.
There were at least 2 Joe Gibbs racing cars and at least 2 of the Michael Waltrip racing cars. There were a lot of Toyotas caught up in that one.
Qualls is in it. Larry Hagan's in it. I think, Seth, you might have been in it. If not, you missed it.
I think the 52 missed it. I think the 52 was ahead of it.
Your teammate in the 51 car is in it.
Yep, he was involved.
All right, so that's the big one that happened. That could set up a very interesting finish. So let's go back and take a look at the finish. Or the wreck.
The finish, yes.
All right, we're looking here to see what happened to bring out this caution. As you see the drivers up ahead.
Yeah, watch the 38, Dylan Young.
Dylan Young, yeah, you see him and Joseph Srigley are close to the wall. There, here comes the 15. You see him right up there too. He's thinking about going up high to help his teammate. The 55 car hits the wall at the angle where it puts him into the wall, comes down into his teammate. His teammate then turns him down into Villanueva. And then it's just on from there. The 78 car gets turned again. There's the So yeah, 78 car gets turned. All these drivers scrambling. The 50.
And then there's where Alex May gets into it.
Yeah, May hits, or Villanueva hits May. That sends him up in the wall. Wow, Seth Cole really missed that.
Yeah, I thought I saw him to the inside of that.
You look at the 19 almost flip over.
Yeah, 19 got a little bit airborne there, I think.
Oh, but Nathan Hudson.
Yeah, there were a lot of drivers here that had been up at the front at one point or another. Of course, Lisa Gonzalez started on the outside of the front row. Preston Plard was up in the top 5 on that last restart. Hudson was up front for a while. Man, Lisa Gonzalez just couldn't hold on to it, but, I mean, they almost had it saved, but that 55 got the wall that second time, and I think that's what was kind of the death knell, and we got a big wreck here, a lot of torn up race cars.
Hudson was, like I said, just bad luck for Hudson all the way around.
Hudson had that first incident missed. It was when the 78 slid back up into traffic. Neither Alex May nor Nathan Hudson had anywhere to go.
Speaking of which, I want to see, let's ride on board with Seth through this wreck. He was in a pretty good shape all the way back here.
He was also right on the back bumper of Nathan Hudson, so I'm quite surprised that he didn't bumper grab and get turned up into the wall as well. I mean, watch how close he is to the 6's back bumper when the 51 and the 6 go up the track.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, right there.
Okay.
I mean, that is, at Daytona, way too close for comfort.
Now on board with Hudson. See, the wreck will happen just in front of him. He's on the brakes. He gets kind of back on the gas. He sees it coming. Doesn't expect it right there and right into the wall.
Well, you know, I wonder if Hudson might not have jumped out to the outside of Alex May. He might have had it missed, although that 78 would have been probably right there, but he'd have had a better chance of missing if he had stayed low rather than diving to the outside there.
Okay, there's one more specific view I want to see it from. And this one, hopefully you guys might like as well. And that's this view right here.
Gonna get a start-finish line flyby.
Yep. And that's what happens. That's the wreck right there.
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to go and take a look at the finish and see who's going to win at Daytona. And we're back at Daytona for a possible 4-lap finish. Now we have a very long list of drivers who are out of the race after that incident, and they are the 95, I believe that's Betty Thomas. Then you have the 18 of O'Neill Belvin, Jake Haynes, Kyle Matthews, Jessica Villanueva, Zachary Fitzwater, Larry Hagan, Preston Plord, James Qualls, and Nathan Hudson are all out of the race after that. Your top 10 rundown coming to the green is Peter Salviano, Robert Wagner, Dylan Poteet, Dusty Allen, Sean Henley, Nick Altendorf, Anthony McCurry, James Silverfox, Steve Pollard, and Jessica Shelton.
It's going to be interesting, too, because like you said, it'll be 4 to go when we hit the stripe. These drivers, it's going to take them a little bit of time to get formed up here. So, you know, if they're separated from their teammates that they might want to work with in these closing stages, they're going to be having to fight tooth and nail in order to do that. And also, the fact that we had to run under this these couple of caution laps, I mean, that rain's getting closer. They got to get this thing done quick.
Yes, they do, and green flag is back out. We're back underway as the 42 of Dusty Allen jumps all the way to the outside line.
Yeah, nobody going to go with him, though. Sean Henley going to go low, going to work with his teammate there, Dylan Poteet. Couple of Tweenix boys up here at the front.
Yeah, Peter Salviano is going to have to do what his counterpart Daniel Voiles did at Talladega last season, try to work the draft.
Yep, and it looks like he's going down to at least block the advances right now of Dylan Poteet. Now moves up to be able to block any run the 23 might get, but Poteet, Henley, and Silverfox, they got a nice tight draft going on down there. They're going to take that into 3.
Here they come down the inside along with Daytona 500 winner Stephen Pollard.
That 4 car just keeps peeking up there at the end of these Daytona races.
And there's Trent Dunham right behind the 48.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say? Start up at the front. Did he fall back and use the wave to get back up there? And Trent Dunham, he's going to be up here, I think, in the top 5 within maybe 2 to go.
3 laps to go. Poteet still leading. Silverfox is going to be left in the middle. Here comes McCurry down to the inside along with that number 4.
Yeah, that 4 car, I'm telling you what, he's looking really good right now. He wants to win this thing, but there's John Cittadino. Remember, we were talking about how he almost won the 500, but came up short. He's trying to look for some Daytona redemption. There's Cody Lamas. There's Trent Dunham. There's a lot of people up here that want to win this thing.
Cody Hagan in the 48.
Oh, yeah. I'm so used to Cody Lamas being in the 48 in every series. I'm sorry.
I've made that mistake as well. Couple cars hitting the wall back there. Seth Cole in the back trying to keep up with the draft. 2 laps to go here in the Coke 0400. Cittadino going to move up to the middle line. It's going to open the door for the 48 of Cody Hagan.
And look at Dylan Poteet. He's done a great job. He turned back his teammate Henley. He turned back Anthony McCurry. He's turned back Steve Pollard, but he's not going to be able to deny Cody Hagan to the inside.
Cody Hagan to the inside going for the lead. Look who's right behind him.
I'll tell you who I think right now is in the best spot, and that could be Dylan Young in that 38, a guy who got in the wall during that last caution.
That is so very true. Cody Hagan with the lead. Trent Dunham right behind him. Here they come out of turn number 4 for the white flag. 1 lap to go. And now Trent Dunham thought he was going to look low, but he's going to open the door. Here comes Cameron Pemberton in the 17.
And what I love is there's no teammates up here. There's no teammates to work with anybody. Your friends are where you find them on this last lap.
Here they go, down into the turns 1 and 2. Annie Thomas in the 41. She got to win at Texas.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Cody Hagan's got to do some mirror driving here. Who's going to step out? Annie Thomas going to look high. Dylan Young, I think he's got Charles Jackson with him on that inside line.
Cody Hagan's going to know to go down the block.
He's got it blocked. He's going to be able to go down there and block it, but I'll tell you what, the 38's off the back bumper quite a bit. He might get a good run here coming out of 4. Will the 20 go with him?
Dunham in the wall up top.
Will Dylan Young make a move? He's looking high and not going to be able to do it.
At Daytona.
Man, some great defensive driving there late by both Poteet and Hagan. And Hagan, right place, right time, a lot of mirror driving, blocked any advances, and a nice win for him.
A very, very truthful too. Very good win by Cody Hagan. Let's see, out of the top 10 drivers who finished, let's see, besides the 48 car, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 drivers out of the top 10 are winners so far this season, and now Cody Hagan can add his name to that list, which means going into next week, there's only 2 chase spots remaining.
I'm telling you what, it's really going to come down to the wire for a lot of these guys. There's going to be a lot of drivers with wins this season that are not going to take part in this season's chase for the championship because, I mean, it's unheard of to have this many different winners this early on in the season, and that's just going to up the ante for these drivers every single week. And a track where just about everybody's on a level playing field to be able to try and win. We got a winner here, and now it's going to really be up to the crews and the crew chiefs to put together solid pieces for these guys in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I forgot where we're going to next week. It might be Kentucky. But so yeah, it might be Kentucky. I think we're going to next week. But thank you so much for joining me here, Seth. And if you're not busy, care to join me for our next race?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Awesome. Okay, as you see, Cody Hagan with the victory, Dylan Young second, Cody Lamas third, and Annie Thomas fourth. There's a bunch of good runs for a bunch of rookies right now, actually as well. Annie Thomas, Joshua Balkin, all these drivers. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Seth, for Daytona.
And thanks for having me. Great finish here. Congrats to Cody Hagan on a well-deserved victory. Right place, right time.
Absolutely. Cody Hagan adds his name to the list of drivers who have qualified for, I'm not going to say locked up a spot, but have qualified for the chase, I guess. Have qualified for the chase.
They're in the running for a spot.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's just like we said. If you're the tops, if you're in the top 16 drivers with a win, at least a win, then you'll make the chase. Because I know there's a bunch of drivers with 2 wins, like Nick Altendorf and Dylan Poteet. They all have at least 2 wins so far this season. So those 2 are definitely locked into the chase.
Yep.
So, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Be sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the NNSCRA channel, where you'll hear me do the Mobile One Cup Series. You'll see Seth do the Snickers Cup Series. And, of course, you'll see Anthony McCurry do the Oreo Truck Series as soon as he gets finished with his current season. Anyways, so thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week until we meet again.
It's raining now.
Yes, it is. Boy, we finished that just in time.
Yeah, we
the
did.
sky is opening up.
Sky is opening up. Oh my goodness.
I think I see a water spout.
I think. No, I was gonna say I thought I saw Lake Lloyd flooding over, but I think that's just